You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
We have a lot to get to today. We have the Heat last night opening up their season. Tony won me some money. Lucy's quarterback is coming back. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Have we determined where Lucy's going this weekend, by the way?
Oh, yeah. What did the poll say? Is it final?
It is final. Well, I haven't checked it, but we already booked the flight. So based off of when I checked
could have changed overnight.
Yeah,
wait a second.
Hold on a second.
I thought the listeners were deciding for
they
you.
did. The first listeners that voted decided.
All right.
Oh, okay.
The first segment.
The first batch, right.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna find the results, and then we'll find out if you booked a flight to the wrong place. Because if you did,
done.
you're gonna have to rebook. Like
Excellent
you can't
idea.
tell the audience that they can tell you where to go and then go somewhere else.
We'll get to Billy. He was on the call last night for FIU. We'll get to that as well. The Heat had a 19-point lead with like 7 minutes to go. It got down to 1 with about a minute to go, and then no one else scored. That was essentially the game last night.
Last night was one of those ones, it felt like a loss. If you listened to sports radio this morning, it felt like they lost. They barely won. Kyle Lowry played 30 minutes, took one shot, 0 for 1. It's just, they won the game, but there seems to be some issues here going forward.
I said it yesterday, Tony. I'd be interested in your opinion here. I don't think the Heat are going to be very good. I just they lost the offseason in a way that Pat Riley has never lost the offseason.
He loses this offseason the same way every offseason. What are you talking about?
I mean, Billy, they got Jimmy Butler, they got LeBron, they got Wade.
Okay.
He's done some great
they
things.
Missed Bradley Beal. They
Right.
missed Giannis. They've missed Gordon.
But Giannis was never
like 7 times.
Giannis was never on the table. To be
Guys,
to be
if
fair.
we're gonna,
please
all
shut
right,
up.
If we're gonna do win-loss records,
Respectfully.
if we're gonna do win-loss records,
You can't do that.
for the Heat in
Right.
off seasons, they've definitely won some, Billy. You can say that they might be close to 500, but to say that they lose more than they win is not true.
This one was an L.
They definitely lose more than they win. They've won some, but they definitely lose more than they win in off seasons.
I disagree.
Well, that's because every time they sign anyone, you guys throw a parade like they signed Michael Jordan.
Right.
When they've done it once with LeBron James.
I mean, in fairness, they did it twice. Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy
we
Butler's
didn't think
not Michael Jordan.
No,
we can stop right there.
He's
Jimmy
not
Butler's
LeBron
not
James.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, no one is Michael Jordan. I agree with you on that.
Jimmy Butler has been great for the Heat.
Billy,
Jimmy Butler has kept the Heat relevant.
Right, but if you remember, we had Stan Van Gundy on, and I agreed with him where he said if Jimmy Butler's the best player on your team's not very good. Jimmy Butler has been the best player on this team and gotten them to 2 NBA Finals and to the Eastern Conference Finals.
But they need a piece to get over that hump.
Yeah, it's
We
not
agree.
about, for me, this is not about Jimmy Butler and Bam.
Same.
It's about the rest of the pieces. Like Jimmy and Butler and Bam are fine pieces up there. It's just, can Tyler Hero be the next guy? He shot a ton last night. I think he took like 25 shots.
7 for 24 last night.
7 for 24, so inefficient.
Yep.
That's the key. Can Tyler Hero take the step? Can he play any defense? That's the kind of stuff. And Kyle Lowry, I mean, I already missed Gabe Vincent. Max Strus went off last night for 27 points.
You saw what he did in Cleveland?
Like 5 threes.
I was shocked that he was a Cavalier. I mean, yes, I had no idea.
I just think it's going to be interesting to see how this Heat season plays out because I think a lot of people are feeling like you, Stugotz. Like, there's nothing about this team that looks better, so it's just... where's the piece going to come from? Where's the move? Is there a move to be made for this team?
They were expecting Tyler Hero to be that next piece that would fill in and score that 20-some-odd points per game. Pat Riley said in the press conference, hey, we need another 20-point-per-game scorer. It can't be Jimmy. It can't be Bam. They already do that. We need Tyler to come in, play massive minutes, score a ton because that's what he's here to do. That's why they paid him $100 million, right? 7 for 24 last night against the Pistons, who are not good.
It's one game.
It's one game, of course.
One game.
But Cade Cunningham had 30 points. Cade Cunningham looked great.
Jeremy Taché is so mad at me via text right now.
Really?
Just because we're coming out negative towards the Heat.
Yeah.
They are 1-0 in a couple weeks. We're gonna look back on this game. No one's gonna think about.
They squandered a 19-point lead,
but they won, so who cares?
No, I know they won, but my larger point about the Heat and why I don't think they'll be that good is because the Celtics and the Bucks are overwhelming, especially Boston.
We'll find out tomorrow.
I'm sorry, Billy. When
Porzingis looked good.
The Heat are tied for first in the East right now.
Right. You're right. They're the 1 seed.
That's correct.
You're
Tied for 1 seed.
You think it's too early to react because the Bulls had a players-only meeting after their blowout loss last night.
No way.
The earliest players-only
Impossible.
meeting in the history of sports. They did. Players only. Sort things out.
Who's the head coach?
I have no idea.
Billy Donovan,
Oh, boy.
Hot
BD.
seat. It's
Billy
hot
D.
seat. One game in, you're in the hot seat.
He's still the coach of the Bulls?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Lucy, you just did the Gator Chomp over there. Is that where you will be going this weekend? Because I have the results of your poll.
It should be.
It is. That's where you should be going.
What
That's
was
where
the final number?
I believe it was 57%. Hold on. I need to look
It was
for the little
closer than
X.
I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it would be a blowout for Georgia, Florida.
57.8%. Do you like traveling to places that are closer? Because this is an easy travel for you.
That'd be a weird
Is-
answer if she's like, I prefer the longest
Well,
flight.
no. Like,
I think it sort of depends. So the reason that I was like, I wasn't really leaning one way or the other, but I like going to home games more than I like going to neutral site games.
that makes sense.
Because the atmosphere is better. I like seeing the stadium and the campus and all that stuff. So that's like why Utah was even on this list, and that game is a lot better. But I don't mind being close. I'm very tired. I'm on the road all the time, so it is nice when my flight's 1 hour and not 4.
Chris, are you still scared of Bill Belichick? Like
No.
when he comes into town, strolls into town, are you scared of Belichick?
I know. We're not doing that thing anymore of like, he's going to take that
I
one
know.
thing away. Has he been taking the one thing away this season?
He has, but they just haven't been good enough to overcome that.
Right.
But
Yeah, his offense.
he's never beat Tua.
Right. And the Dolphins have always been good against the Patriots and Belichick, even when Brady was here.
Not
No, they,
always.
They were
down
At
here.
home,
Down
yeah.
here.
at
yeah.
home, yes.
The Dolphins are becoming the team that you just have to look at the injury report before betting on them or watching them play. Like Tyreek now is having may not play this Sunday. It's a
Right.
hip issue, which is terrifying for me personally because he's on my fantasy team. But
Good game to rest, though. I mean,
It is a good game
I
to
can't
rest.
believe I'm saying that about Belichick. I mean, come on.
They looked good last week.
honestly,
Mac Jones looked good last week.
He did.
I think Connor Williams might be more important than Tyreek Hill to this team.
That's a stupid
And
thing to say.
I'm telling you, dude,
That's a really ridiculous
Dude.
thing to say.
the Eichenberg at center.
Yeah.
It's like me playing center. Dude. It is so
I thought about that
bad.
actually.
It is so bad.
Put that on the poll, please.
Obviously, I'm being a little like I'm trying to just do a thing. Like Tyreek's obviously great, but it's just this offense. Like if you tell me Teron Armstead and Connor Williams are playing,
Right.
and Waddle's mine, like I feel like our receiving core is deeper than our offensive line. Is my point.
Tyreek Hill's the most important person on the Dolphins. More important than Tua.
He might be the most important guy in the league.
I think we could answer that question on Sunday. If the Dolphins' offense looks great on Sunday without
Right.
Tyreek, the system is still. I'm not saying you're wrong. We'll see what it looks like without Tyreek, but I think the argument can be made that Connor Williams, and Armstead are more important to this offense because there's less depth at offensive line. We have receivers. We just got Chase Claypool. Like I feel like the receivers can do enough.
Right.
I need Connor Williams to play.
Okay. But you can play center for the Dolphins, is what you're
I
saying.
played center
Right.
this past Sunday against the Eagles.
Really?
Eichenberg. I love the guy.
Put it on the poll. Could Chris play center for the Dolphins?
No. Did Chris play center?
Okay, sorry. Did Chris play center last week for the Dolphins?
Is this
And will he
gonna-
start again this week?
Is this going to lead to some sort of contest between you and Eichenberg, where like you guys are lined up against each other and you're pushing each other?
No.
No, because they'd both be playing the same position, so it'd be like a long snap
you
or
know
like
what
a
you guys
snap
should do?
contest.
A snap off?
You guys should do like the fake sumo suits against each other. Because that's like safe. If
sure
it's
that
just
would
the
go
two
well
of
for
you,
me.
well, if it's just the two of you against each other, he's gonna destroy you. But if there's padding, at least it's somewhat safe.
You know what, Billy? I'm in.
All right.
A feud with Eichenberg?
No, I'll sumo wrestle Eichenberg.
Fake sumo wrestling.
If he'll
Yeah.
agree to it.
If he'll agree to
He
it.
won't.
The challenge has been issued.
When's the bye week?
He
I'm
actually
on
has
this.
to play center for the Dolphins.
They're on week like 13, I think.
It's wild. Usually you get the bye
Late
week.
bye, yeah.
Usually you get the bye week after like the game in Europe. and
Yeah, they should-
don't
they-
have a
They
bye
haven't been
game.
doing that this year.
That's
a
what
lot of
you
teams come
should
back
do.
from London and play another game right after.
Yeah. Interesting. Billy, how was your FIU game last night?
It went well, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was a little more serious this time, I think, but I had a good time. I like doing it.
right.
Here's a stat. You want a stat of the day? Do we have to do a stat of the day? Is there a sponsor?
We can do a stat of the day.
You want to do one?
Let me
Let's
get
give
it.
let's give an extra stat of the day this week to our sponsor.
I got it. Let's do
Okay.
it.
All right.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
Stat of the day brought to you by Venmo. Your money, your move.
All right, today's stat of the day is courtesy of Taylor Vipolis.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
In games that I have called,
TV?
FIU has been outscored 42-0 in the first quarter, which he made sure to send me while I was calling the game. Yeah.
It's a good stat, though.
That is a good stat.
A crazy
Funny.
stat. Because coming into it, we're like, last time didn't
Right.
start out great, 21-0 in the first. Can't happen again, right? Surely can't happen again. Happened again. Yeah.
Pause up.
Pause up.
So did they make you be more serious, or you felt it like in yourself to be like, you know what, I'm going to take this a little bit more serious?
No, they didn't make me be more serious. I just, I had some thoughts.
You are free to do what you want to do in that broadcast.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, I'm not there to make a mockery of the whole thing.
Respect the booth.
I'm not the clown referee. That's a job. That's not mine. That's,
Okay.
You'd be a great clown referee, by the way.
Right.
I don't
You'd be
know.
an incredible clown
I don't
referee.
think I have the right energy and temperament
No,
to
you
be a
were
good
born
clown.
for that, Billy. Yeah.
No, I don't think that I could be a good clown. I
Really?
really don't.
Huh.
I mean, I am one, but I don't think I could be one.
Right.
I couldn't be a clown at a kid's party. I don't think, because I can't muster up that fake energy.
I could be a clown.
Right. So
You
I.
could. Chris
Yeah.
could
So could I.
obviously.
I'd be a great
yeah.
clown.
Back in my day, right?
Yeah.
You'd be the clown that
Smoking a heater.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. With the 5 o'clock shadow clown beard. You'd be like the disgruntled clown.
Empty bottles of liquor just in
Fair.
your car.
I'll take it.
Degenerate clown.
Can't even argue it. to
You
be
go
honest.
and do it. You're like going through the motions on the tricks, whatever. A kid
Right.
comes over. You try to sell him beer. And then you show him how all the
You
tricks
have
are
me
done.
selling little kids beer?
Yeah, because you're not going to give it to them. I mean, there's money to be made there.
You're right.
Or have the kids steal a beer from the dad in the cooler, like, hey, go give me your dad's beer.
Yeah,
real quick.
exactly.
Right. Or sell them beer. I think Billy's on to something,
Yeah.
though. Have
Sell
a
them their own beer. You
have
go,
like
you
a
steal
bar
it-
set up next to
You
me.
steal it from the dad's fridge and you sell it to the kids. You show up at the 7-Eleven and you have your ID. You walk outside and you're you hand it to them behind the side.
Actually, Tony, I'll combine it. Go steal your dad's beers, bring them over here. I'll sell them to another kid.
Yes.
How about that?
Or another dad.
Yeah, or another dad.
Hey, everybody. Happy football season. It's Mike, and let me tell you what I do from kickoff to the final whistle. I have a Miller Lite in my hand. I just don't go wrong with it. I learned from experience. There is only one light beer worthy of our national obsession, because what's the point of having a beer if it doesn't taste like beer? You don't want to spend any time while you're watching football thinking about what you're drinking. And with the dependable flavor of Miller Lite, you don't have to worry about it, because it's only got 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12-ounce serving. With a smooth taste and a crisp, clean finish, you'll get all the taste that you crave without the calories. A light, less filling beer that tastes great in football, there's just no topping that, folks. At least not for me. This season, do what I do. Crack open a light beer that hits your taste buds so hard, you feel it in your heart. Make it Miller time all football season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Don Batard.
Did you watch me at NC State? I was all ACC. I don't have necessarily the mobility, but no one can see over the line like me.
Michael, the ACC network job is a good job. It's a stable
I'm
job.
ready to pack it in. I've got a lot of good football left in me.
My footwork is underrated.
I can step up in the pocket with the best of them. No one can scan the field like me.
But wouldn't it be nice to be around the family more often and not have to worry about any injuries?
Babe, just give me one more season.
Stugotz.
Tell you what, I'm not going to therapy. I'm not. Therapy is not happening. Sorry. You need to work on you. There's one person pulling the rope for this family right here, and it's Mike Glennon.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
So we have an assortment of sounds from Billy doing the
Do we?
FIU game. Yes, we do.
Wow, thank you for your work on that, Billy. I know you went to a broadcast, you were out late, and then you cut your own tape. Imagine, you're incredible, dude.
Actually, last night, hey guys, you want a tease of what's to come later this week on the show? We're going to be revealing the first time this season's BCS later this week on God Bless Football. That's what I was doing last night. I was
the real BCS.
Yes, the real BCS.
Because we talked about the fake BCS earlier,
Miami
month.
was number one. It's the only time we talked about it. Yes.
Clearly flawed. Clearly flawed.
This is the real BCS. Billy, Chris, and Stugotz BCS.
Some people, yes, exactly right.
Okay.
Some people wait around for the CFP rankings.
Right.
Not us. BCS is out here bright and early. We're going to get it to you before the CFP rankings are out.
That's
officially.
right. And we've already expanded our playoff.
We haven't.
Oh.
Well,
Well, we did before anyone else
Yeah,
did.
well, our
Yes.
playoff was always bigger than the other one. Our playoff, as everybody knows, just a reminder, is 6 teams.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So a standard to any pregame show is the keys to the game.
Oh, God.
Let's listen to Billy Gill.
Billy Gill, your keys to the game.
Multiple keys today, AJ. Yeah, I think that the guys got to stick to the game plan, AJ. Play with a chip on their shoulder. Win the real estate battle. Stay hungry. When the meal's on the plate, eat.
Stick to the game plan. Win the real estate battle.
Eat.
Meal on the plates.
Yeah, when it's there, you got to eat. Yeah.
Have to eat.
Got to have calories.
Solid. I mean,
I stand by that.
do you?
I do.
Well, you have to.
When the meal's on the
They're
plate,
your
eat.
keys to the game,
Yeah.
right? You can't bail on your keys to the game.
I'll
Billy.
tell you what. Yesterday, one of the keys from one of the other broadcasters was
Right.
win the time of possession, which they did.
TOP.
Right.
But lost by 25. But don't let that score fool you. The game was closer than that score indicates.
It's impossible.
No, it's not. It's really not. It's really not. Stugotz, there was one of the worst, and I'd hate to be like the officials, the referees screwed us. One of the worst calls I've ever seen, where they called kick-catch interference. So, like, essentially, the punt returner fumbled the ball, and they said that he interfered with the play, that the defense interfered with the play, leading to the fumble that FIU recovered, and would have been on the 30-yard line and could have made it a one-possession game with either a field goal or a touchdown. So they came all the way back. Well, they didn't, but they could have come all the way back and made
Like
it a
the
one-score
Pistons?
game.
Right.
Yeah. And then you see the replay. No one touched the guy. No one was anywhere near him. It was a horrific call.
Did you get irate on the broadcast? Did you start ripping people?
No, I'm measured. When I do the broadcast, I kind of keep the emotions in check because I'm there to paint a picture, you know?
Of course, yes.
It's not a self-portrait.
Yes.
It's a picture of what's going on.
Attaboy.
Let's hear Billy paint.
First down. Jacksonville State Court, you mentioned it a few minutes ago, fastest tempo in the country. They average 20 seconds per play.
What's the rush? It's a long game. I stand by that, too.
Lucy is cackling over there. In a good way, though, right, Lucy?
You are great. I listen to every single time you do it.
Great.
Well, so if you're wondering, how did they win the time of possession battle and still lose by 25? It's because of that very stat where they were averaging like plays every 20 seconds. So they were in and out. They were quick to score.
I need more.
Took a home run shot, but good coverage in the secondary there, and it'll be second down.
That's all right. You don't have to complete that for it to be a really positive play for the Panthers, because you now put that in the mind of Jack State. Make him think about it. Tarnu was tremendous there in phase. It came behind him so he could easily knock it down with his back. That's still good for FIU.
Would have been better if they completed it, though.
Yeah, we would have preferred that.
Yeah.
It would have been a touchdown. It was a play in the end zone. It would have been a lot better.
That's a good incompletion right there.
But a completion, better. Yeah.
Wait a second. Can I hear the pros do that again? Because Billy's right. I mean, you nailed it. I need to hear that sound again. I want to hear that clip.
Took a home run shot, but good coverage in the secondary there, and it'll be second down.
That's all right. You don't have to complete that for it to be a really positive play for the Panthers, because you now put that in the mind of Jack State. Make him think about it. Tarnu was tremendous there in phase. It came behind him so he could easily knock it down with his back. That's still good for FIU.
Would have been better if they completed it, though.
Yeah, we would have preferred that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The rare good incompletion.
Bit of a Bishop to Rook 9 there by Billy on the broadcast.
Well, you put it in their head. But
Right. Do those guys hate you? Or
I always do wonder. I think AJ's fine. I always wonder if, I don't know if Corey Brooks likes me or not.
More.
AJ, were you asking us about our Halloween costumes because you wanted us to ask you?
No, I'm just selfless and love to inquire of my friends.
Okay. Well, what are you going to be?
See, I don't know if when does Halloween fall on? A Tuesday?
The 31st.
1st and 10 at the 11. Toss play.
I stand by that one, too.
So helpful.
Same day every year, actually.
It was Halloween night last night.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really? Did you dress up?
I didn't. I didn't know.
You should have been dressed up in the boots when they cut over to you.
I was wearing a borderline Hawaiian shirt, so you could say I was dressed up, but it's just because I like the fabric. Very comfortable. Yeah, it's really comfortable.
Borderline Hawaiian shirt. What's borderline?
It was
about
floral print. TJ Maxx. Great price.
Great deals.
I'm actually stuck with that because I wore it the day that we did company pictures. So that was actually my credential picture for a lot of things. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. which was better than what like Hildy and Kristen used to do, which was like when I was credentialed for like Marlin spring training games. They used to submit my 8th grade football picture, which is like, how is this even allowed? So I would go, and it would be a child's picture for me every time I got a credential. It was a great prank, but kind of annoying when I'm trying to be taken seriously.
I think I just heard Kristen laughing out there.
Oh, she's the worst.
Oh, Kristen loves Billy.
She's the worst. She's left-handed, I found out today.
What?
Just a fun aside.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. We can see
There's
Billy
the
up
shirt.
here.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, my God, that's great.
Yeah. Comfy shirt.
You're really comfortable in that shirt. Like you got.
I almost wore a suit.
Buttons? How many buttons
seriously,
open
Billy
here?
showing some chest.
I was going to wear a suit yesterday just to surprise them when I got there wearing a suit.
Were they wearing Halloween costumes?
No, they were a little dressed down, little polo shirts. We were talking to AJ. He's like, I used to wear a suit to every game. And I'm like, AJ, buddy, dress for the job you want, not the one you have. You should still be wearing a suit. What are we doing here?
One more, please.
It's a simple call. I mean, Grayson James is 6'3". That's 3+ yards of quarterback that you can just push ahead.
Well, that'd be 9 feet. It was 3 yards.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's bad math. Wow. 2 yards, 2+ yards.
That guy hates you.
I think he does.
That guy hates you.
Hey, Billy, I got to tell you something. You are great.
You know when I sensed that he hated me is when I said that they forced a turnover on downs. He's like, it's a punt. I was like, okay. I mean, you're right, but my point was.
Hates you. Our point is they hate you.
Yeah, probably.
One more? We have more? Give it to me.
The holding penalty has been an Achilles heel for weeks, and that's really the first one that's had any impact.
Yeah, tough timing there, though. 2nd and 14 now. It negates a tremendous individual effort from Owens.
Well, it's a team sport, so.
Do you just undercut him at every word?
That's what he does, Tony. Aren't you used to it?
I know, but it's a broadcast.
I think that Taylor got like all the ones that I did because I really didn't do it that much yesterday. My favorite thing that I don't think we get to is in the postgame show. I found out that AJ's girlfriend is a dentist, so we were just talking about dentistry for a while.
There's nothing like a mid play call correction.
Well, that'd be 9 feet. It was 3 yards.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's bad math.
Wow.
We're making it seem like the quarterback's 9 feet tall. That's, I'm trying to paint a picture here.
So how did he go
right
from
to left on the radio dial?
Of course.
That is true. People were watching. People listening to that are like, "There's a 9-foot quarterback out there."
Yeah. I also at one point, guys,
They're doing math.
I have a confession to make. At one point, I said that I suffer from gigantism. I don't. Just to clear that up.
So people thought you were 9 feet tall.
Well, because that's what people were saying the last time, because Taylor was walking around and we were doing a video before the game, and I was talking to like the kickers or whatever, right? And I don't know if it was the camera angle or what it was, but I seemed to be towering over them. And people thought that I was 6'6" because they looked up the kicker and it said that the kicker was 5'10". And I'm like 6'1", maybe on a good day, maybe 6'2" if I'm wearing my heels, right? So I'm walking around and people think that I'm 6'6" because they were going by that height. So then they pointed that out, and I didn't want to say that the kicker is not actually 5'10", so I just said that I suffer from gigantism, which I don't. I made that up. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everyone out there that does suffer from that.
All right, back with hopefully more Billy Gill sound after this.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is brought to you by KFC's new hot and spicy wings. Get fired up this fantasy season with 8 pieces of spicy marinated hand-breaded wings for just $4.99. Are you kidding me? They're a can't-miss call for whatever the fantasy gods throw your way. In the midst of a managerial hot streak, keep it rolling with KFC's new hot and spicy wings. Did you just assemble the worst lineup in fantasy history? Who cares? You can get 8 KFC new hot and spicy wings for $4.99 right now. Marinated in spice, hand-breaded to perfection. KFC's new hot and spicy wings are here. 8 pieces for just $4.99. It's finger-licking good. Today's episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is brought to you by Venmo. Look, no matter how your favorite team does this season, there's still one way to feel like a winner, unless you're a Jets fan, and that's with Venmo. That's because when you use Venmo to add $100 or more to your DraftKings account, you'll get an extra $25 in DraftKings bonus credits. Just go to DraftKings.com/Venmo offer to activate your offer. Then choose Venmo to add funds to your DraftKings account, add $100 or more, and boom! 25 credits will appear in your DraftKings account if you're eligible. This offer is only good through November 30th, 2023, or while supplies last. So make your move before the shot clock runs out. Here's the deal. Venmo is a fast and easy way to add money to DraftKings. And if you don't have a Venmo account, don't sweat it. Signing up in the app is super simple. So what are you waiting for? Just add $100 or more to your DraftKings account with Venmo and you'll get $25 in bonus credits. Go to DraftKings.com/Venmo offer and go get that bonus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Eligibility and age restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Valid 1 per first-time Venmo account transfer. Opt-in required. Minimum $100 transfer for your Venmo account to your DraftKings DFS account. $25 bonus issued as DK dollars that require a one-time playthrough before withdrawal. withdrawal. See terms at DraftKings.com/Venmo offer.
Don Batard.
I read his lips, and it sounded like he was saying, what? You want to fight me now?
But I'm telling you, if you look, we can play a game right now. The lips look the same on fight you and failure. Watch my lips. I'm going to turn off my mic.
No, I
guys
just
look in here.
I'm
going to send one of these two, and I want you guys to tell me if I'm saying fight you or failure.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Stugotz.
Why are your ideas always so bad for the podcast?
Bad audio.
Big swings, Grace.
Is this a character that you have now?
Theater of the mind, guys.
That's what the audio.
All right, here we go. Do it again.
Fight you.
That was
All
fight.
right, maybe you can't tell.
Oh my God!
We got to the bottom of it.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Yesterday, Stugotz, we had Chris make an offer that I believe was one of the most insincere offers that's ever been made, but also like a hilarious checkmate move by him because no one will ever take him up on that offer. So Chris texts us at like 6 a.m. and is like, my daughter's sick.
Right.
But if you want, I can bring her in because there's no one to watch her. So naturally, everyone will say, no, don't do that.
Right.
Like, just stay home with your daughter. It's fine.
He knows the answer before he sends it.
100%.
He looks dedicated. He looks like he's doing everything he can to get to work because he knows that we have a skeleton staff the last 2 weeks.
That's the reason I made that offer.
But
My daughter's been sick before, and usually it's my daughter's sick. I'm not coming in.
But admit that was a BS offer. You were at no point would you ever think like if Stugotz would have been like, yeah. Bring in Grace.
I was tempted. No, I was tempted to do it.
Sick and get everyone sick in the office. That's a great idea.
If the answer was, we literally just have like Tony in the back room today, I'll come in because we need people.
Yeah. I wanted to know the plan once you got here with your sick daughter.
Well, Willow would have watched
Sits
her.
out there with Kristen.
What do you mean? Did you ask Kristen?
No, exactly.
That's right.
It was too early to text Kristen.
Dude, I literally, you want to know the thought process
Sits out there with Kristen.
I had the idea of parking right outside the studio.
And leaving your child in a
with the
locked
car
car.
on.
What?
No.
Stop talking.
No.
Stop talking.
With
Stop talking.
Kristen
I want to hear this.
Stop talking.
Kristen
They're
is
going to take
out
your
there.
child from you.
Kristen is
Stop talking.
out there.
Right.
No.
So you have
Really?
Kristen watching your kid in the
car is
car
on, though.
outside in the garage.
My daughter would love that.
No.
3 straight
No.
hours with her tablet?
No.
Oh, my God.
No.
Lucy is shocked.
Yeah, no.
Look,
Don't say.
I'm just saying the things that went in my head. I'm like, how can we do this?
Right.
Keep them in your head.
Lucy.
You may lose your children. Keep them in
Thoughts,
your
please, because you're just sitting there staring at Chris in amazement.
You were just going to leave your daughter in a car for 3 hours?
all right,
you
there's
gonna
a
leave
big
the car?
difference.
Car was on.
They're trying to turn this into a hot day, no air conditioning.
The car's on.
It is
No.
covered.
Car's on, max
No.
AC. We
Max
get it.
AC.
Okay.
I'm just trying to
You're
keep
not
my
that
daughter
evil. I know.
isolated
Right.
from everybody, but yet still safe.
No.
Right.
Are you saying my daughter's not safe in a car?
No.
Right
You know
outside?
why?
If Kristen is
Alone?
sitting
You climb in the front seat, put her foot on the brake, and shift gears.
not a
Exactly
dog.
right.
But he has Kristen out there watching the car and his
What does a
daughter.
dog have to do with
I
it?
think that a child is more capable of doing that than a dog.
What are you talking about?
No, my daughter knows
If your
not
dog
to
can
jump
drive a
into
car,
the
that's
front
incredible.
seat and like play with all the buttons, whereas a dog might just start like running around the whole car.
Right.
My daughter knows what buttons not to touch because she's touched them before, and I say, "Don't touch those buttons."
Oh,
Right.
I have a question for you.
But Kristen has important things to do around
Look,
here.
I was just
Don't
saying,
watch your kid.
in the worst case scenario,
sit.
how
Right.
could we do this? I know you're not going to want my daughter in the common area. Like, how could I come to work today?
So why was your first instinct car and not just like put her in the back room?
Oh, no, that was just because she still has to walk through. There's still like that. She's still in this area.
You were never going to bring her.
I
Nor
would've
should
brought her.
you have.
No,
Right.
I would have if you guys were like, we literally have no one to do like we don't have people here. Like, usually we have 58 people.
No, we appreciated that part of
Right.
it.
And it
but
was genuine. I knew you guys
no
would
one
say
wants your
no.
sick daughter here.
I will admit, I knew you guys would say no.
See? That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
But I
All
was
right.
being genuine in if you
I
needed
believe
me,
that.
I was going to come in with
I
my sick
believe
daughter.
that. I do believe
and that
that.
was genuine. Like,
Okay.
I knew I was going to get the answer.
I
no.
should have said yes.
I can't believe that the thought process was, tablet car, 3 hours, we're good.
Yeah, with someone key thing here. Someone out there watching her the
Key
entire
thing,
time.
the AC's on. That's the most important
Car
part.
is
That
on.
is the key thing. Thank you,
Car
Tony.
is on.
That's-
Car's on.
AC's blasting.
AC's blasting, right.
And someone is standing out there just staring at her from the outside
A
of the car.
smart man once told me, never ask a question you don't already have the answer to.
This guy gets it.
Chris asked a question he already knew the answer to.
Right.
That way he texted and then went right back to sleep because he knew nobody was going to say yes.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a stupid-ass question.
I wish I got to go right back to sleep. Honestly, my daughter, she was one of these 6 where she couldn't go because she was coughing and sneezing.
Sure.
But her energy level wasn't down, so she was just all. Stugotz called me at 1 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah, he was frantic.
I was like,
He was.
I have had a terrible day.
Right.
Most people are like, oh, you got out of work. It was like, no.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say terrible day because I was with my daughter,
Yeah.
but she was just all over the place.
Well, you're looking-
Sneezing, running around, wanting to go places. I'm like, you're sick. We can't go anywhere.
Well, he started the conversation by saying, my daughter is just running all over the house. And I said, I thought she was sick.
I'm like, she is. But
Right.
sometimes you just like have.
So sick enough to stay home from
She was
school, but not
sneezing
sick
and
enough to
coughing.
where she's not going to play while
Yeah.
she's home. Right.
Right.
She was faking.
Which I was happy.
so
No, she
bad.
can't fake that stuffed upness
Got
that
it.
she is.
It looks so bad right now.
I have we've never
No,
had a
you don't.
disclaimer on the screen before, so we'll just say that.
Well, this is because you guys do this thing of you said kid in a car, and I'm like, I never said anything
I didn't
about
do
without air
anything.
conditioning. Billy,
it
you
was
paint
Billy
a
and
picture.
Tony.
Billy's like, stop talking. They're gonna take your kids. It's
They
like,
are gonna take your kids.
If you listen to what I'm saying,
I'm just painting pictures, man, not self-portraits. I have
a stupid disclaimer off the screen.
I have a
Wait a
no,
second.
it's an
Did you-
important disclaimer.
Time out.
I'm glad
Time
we
out.
have
This is
that.
important.
Yeah.
Did you run that idea by your wife before you presented it to us?
Not a chance.
Well, my wife knew I was because my wife couldn't, so I was like, I'm in charge of her. So
What was Greg doing? Why couldn't Greg pitch in?
Yeah,
dude? Greg,
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Greg's also sick. He did go to the Heat game sick.
Oh,
He missed
boy.
bowling.
Uh,
Why didn't he stay in the car?
My dad's also sick. Everyone's sick right now.
Chris, you realize had you called your wife and told her I'm bringing our sick daughter to work, and here's the plan:
Yeah.
car, AC, garage, Kristen. She would have divorced you. I mean,
My wife would have assumed that she was coming inside
Yeah.
our studio for sure.
I have a question for you
I would have left
guys.
out the car part.
Yeah, yeah. Well, should have done that today too. I have a question for you guys that I want to interact with the audience on, and I have a hashtag if you want. So this, for me, was one of the strangest things that my daughter has ever cried for. Because kids cry for like the dumbest things, right? My daughter likes ketchup. She likes eating French fries with ketchup. Sometimes she'll just like dip her finger in the ketchup and just loves the taste
It's a
of ketchup.
common kid thing.
Yes. Okay. Now, we haven't gotten to the strange part yet. She likes hamburgers. We went and we got her a Happy Meal yesterday. We're like, do you want chicken nuggets? She's like, no, I want a hamburger. So we're like, okay. So then I said, naturally, I'm going to blow her mind. I'm going to put ketchup on this hamburger, and she's going to love it. Started crying. As
not how it works.
As soon
Yep.
as I put ketchup on the hamburger, she started crying, and I said, this must be the strangest thing that I've gotten her to cry over, because this is a very normal thing that everybody does. Ketchup on a hamburger, started crying.
My daughter does that with cheese. Like, she loves string cheese and every form of cheese, but if you put like melted cheese on a sandwich, she's like, oh! I'm like, I'm telling you, you like this.
I'm enhancing the sandwich.
And like
Right.
Billy, like she doesn't give it a chance. She's just like, no, I don't want that. It's just like, I'm telling you, look at me.
Yeah.
I know this. This is my area.
Yeah.
Right.
Eat this.
This is
And
Dad's wheelhouse.
I
mean,
just
come on.
put like a little dabble do ya, just a little boop, like a little dot on there so that she could taste it and realize that she liked it. Then I could just put a mountain of ketchup on there because she loves ketchup. Didn't do it. So hashtag Stranger Things at us at Batard Show
I was gonna
at
ask
all
what
of
the
us.
hashtag was, yeah.
If you have Stranger Things that your children have cried over or whatever, or you've cried over.
I get desperate when I really want my daughter to try something, and it gets really ugly. I'm just like, no tablet for a week unless you try this.
Oh.
Like, I
Why?
start throwing out these fake
Wow.
threats that don't mean anything just because it's like, this is so absurd that you won't try this. I know you'll like this.
You're looking worse and worse by the minute here, Chris.
I'm just a human, all right, Roy? I'm not perfect like
It's
you.
just a human. Hashtag Stranger Things. I feel like we're going to get it to trend.
Do you have an example of something you wanted her to eat that she didn't eat? And
It's probably some sandwich with cheese on it because it's like, I don't understand this math you're doing. You like cheese.
right.
This is the delicious.
Everyone likes cheese. I'm with you on that.
Like, she doesn't want to eat a grilled cheese. I'm like, this
Lactose
is
intolerant.
grilled cheese. This
You're
is-
lactose intolerant?
No, I'm just saying those who don't like cheese would.
Those are the only
Could
people,
be.
though. Right.
Yeah.
But the kid is telling you, hey, let me figure it out for myself. Like, I'll get to cheese when I want to get to cheese, not when Dad wants me to get to cheese, Chris.
I just feel like you ever like offer your child something and they try it. It's just such a good feeling when they're like, huh, this
Yeah.
is, like I actually tried something. Oh, and you're right, this is good.
So, does your daughter feel better?
She's still sick, but
Yeah.
we sent her today.
You did?
Get all the other kids
what do
sick.
you want from
Right.
me?
Hey, you're running around the house. Get to school, you know?
I didn't want to send the text again.
Right. Listen, when you're sick from school and you stay home from school, you got to milk it. Like, you cannot be running around the house playing with the blocks.
You won.
You got to sit in bed. Yeah, you won for a day. But if you want multiple days, you just got to sit there and eat it.
But I don't think that his daughter's the age of faking sick to get out of school.
Yeah, it's more us telling her. Like, she doesn't even know to be like, I don't want to go to school. She just wakes up all snotty and we're like, oh, she can't go.
But that's something you can teach her for a rainy day, okay? Hey, next time you're sick from school, act like you're sick, okay? Stop running around the house doing stuff.
Teach her how to lie about it.
Yeah, exactly
Instead
right.
of just getting the most genuine.
Very important skill. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. All right. You were going to say?
I was just going to say that there was another disclaimer up there. Like, people don't have the context for these disclaimers.
What was the disclaimer?
It was just Chris does not threaten his kid. It's like, geez.
Oh, that's good. That's a good disclaimer.
Like, what are we doing to me here?
Oh, there it is. Chris Cote does not threaten his child regularly. No, it's a good clarifier.
Tony, you won us money last night.
Come on, baby.
Against the spread.
Luka, Kyrie, and them boys.
That's exactly what the Mavericks are. Luka, Kyrie, and I can't name another player.
And Lively, who is dunking all over the place. I was
Who
like,
is
who
that
is
guy?
this guy? Derek Lively, sick.
I bet the game. What'd you think of Victor? And I said Victor because I don't want to pronounce his last name.
Wembanyama, yeah.
Wemby. He
was okay in the first half. He had a couple threes.
Yeah.
They're not working the offense through him. They're working through other guys that we can't name because we don't know who they are because of the Spurs, and they were terrible last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he had good spurts where he had 2-3 minutes where he blocked a shot. He came back, had a little back to the basket, turnaround jumper. Like, there's stuff there that tells you, okay, this guy's pretty good, but it's going to take a lot for him to be like what everybody thought he was going to be.
I was expecting more. I watched that game just for him and because I had money on it.
Right. Naturally.
But it's one game. The Bulls had a team meeting after a game, after a blowout loss. I don't want to overreact to one game. I don't know. Just so to me.
It's that he plays a lot of like outside in basketball, right? So he's shooting a lot of threes because that's what the NBA is now, shooting a lot of threes. So his first bucket in the NBA was a three, and it shows you how the game has changed so much where your 7'4" center is now scoring from the outside instead of scoring from the inside. And I think that was the biggest point for Wemby is if he can dominate the outside the way that we think he can because of his skill.
Do you think he can?
I think so. Like, nobody can block a shot.
Right.
He had centers Lively trying to block a shot who's 7 feet tall, and he was just shooting right over him. For me, the most important part of Wemby is can he go inside and score with the big boys inside? Can he break somebody off the dribble, take them into the lane, and score? He didn't really do that. He had a dunk where he didn't even jump. He just kind of put his arm up and dunked and got an and one. But it wasn't something where he's commanding inside the lane.